you that I can show you all day long how to do CPR on a rubber mannequin that's got some springs in it. It is nothing like doing it on a real person, okay? It's much harder on a real person. You have to push with more purpose. It obviously depends on the size of them. If they're a bigger person, it's gonna be much harder. The smaller they are, it's a little bit easier, okay? We are just gonna talk to you today a little bit about hands-only CPR, which is not, it does not include putting your mouth on anybody. It's gonna basically talking about doing compression. Where do you put your hands if you have to do CPR? Very good. So we're gonna pick the lower third of the chest. Why do we not wanna be down here, around the stomach? It's not where your heart is. Your heart is located right here, off of center, just to the left. So we take the heel of one hand, we're gonna put it in the center of your chest, and we're gonna compress. We're gonna do that about 100 times a minute. If you can remember, just do that, 100 times in 2 minutes, okay? So I wanna show you a little trick. Does anybody think that this is correct versus this? Does that make a difference? It does, it makes a big difference. You wanna have your hand to the side, because if you put your hand like this, it's gonna be touching the ribs are gonna keep protecting them, okay? So, if you find somebody at home who's unresponsive, right, so you walk up to them, can you hear me, can you hear me? And they don't wake up, what are you gonna do? What's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna call us, right? Because this is what we do. We're professionals at it. We do it every day. We train. Make sure, no matter what, you call 911. How many people have a cell phone in their pocket? So more than half of you, the majority of you have a cell phone. Take that phone out, call 911, set the phone down so that you can actually listen to the instructions. If you forget everything I said here today, as long as you call 911, they're gonna walk you through all the steps, okay? So if you can't wake them up, and it also doesn't look like they're breathing or breathing adequately, you're just gonna start doing compressions. You're gonna take the heel of one hand, and I'm actually gonna have Lily come up here and do this for me. You're gonna take the heel of one hand, put it in the center of the chest, get straight up over the top of them, and you're gonna drive straight down, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll let Lily do that for a second. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How long should you do this? You're gonna do it for 2 minutes. At the end of that 2 minutes, you're gonna stop and see if they're responsive. You can stop if they move. If they move, make a sound, cough, pick their leg up, blink, they do something, you can stop doing CPR. If not, every 2 minutes, you're gonna do this for 2 minutes, and then just stop and see if they have any form of responsiveness, okay? We have an average response time of 4.5 minutes. You should not have to do this for very long, okay? Obviously, sometimes that can be a little bit longer. Sometimes it can be even shorter if you're driving right by. I promise you, we can get from that station to the library in less than 4 minutes, okay? Call it early. Sorry, you sound.
Good job.
Making that tough. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna just briefly talk about the AED. The majority, all of you don't have an AED at home, but when you go out and run errands out in the public now, you are going to find that AEDs are more prominent in locations, okay? We used to have one here at the library. If for some reason you needed one, I promise you, there are at least 2 of them in City Hall, okay?
What does AD?
Say it again.
What does AD stand for?
AED is Automated External Defibrillator, AED. So you'll find them in churches. You potentially could find them in big commercial stores. I know that Target for a while there wasn't doing it, and I don't think they are to date. Publix, most government buildings have them. If you have a medical license, you're required to have one. Like my orthodontist 15 years ago, I still do CPR classes for them. They have an AED in their office. So you'd be surprised, there's a lot of them around. If you yell help and call 911 and say, somebody get an AED, and you're out in the public, chances are somebody's gonna show up with one, okay? An AED on and they didn't want to stick because they were so hairy. There's usually more than one set of pads in there, just rip them off and put the other set back in their place, okay? All right. Are there any questions about CPR? How long would you do this for?
2 minutes.
Before you check them? Just do those good hands-only compressions for 2 minutes. At the end of that 2 minutes, just stop, look at them, see if there's a sign of life. If there's no sign of life, go back to doing CPR. And trust me, if they're alive and you start compressing their chest,
Yeah, they're gonna.
they're gonna wake up. I promise. It's gonna hurt. That is not a good feeling. The other thing is that even if you do CPR on them and they do wake up, they're gonna be okay. It's gonna heal. Okay, it's just so you know, if you push on somebody's chest, it's just cartilage holding your sternum to your ribs. It's the same cartilage that's in your nose and in your ear, right? It's very, very bendy, very pliable, not a big deal. It will heal. So if you do it, don't panic that, you know, you get a pulse back and you're like, ugh, I broke their chest. It's not a big deal, okay? Any questions about CPR? I'm gonna move on. Okay, that's up on in 90 seconds. We're gonna put a little pressure on Lily here. We've already done it today once with a drill that we did earlier, but today we're gonna have her do it for you guys in that minute and a half. Okay? All right, so we're gonna have Lieutenant Walker time her. So, and as you're going through it, like as she's putting this stuff on, we're just gonna briefly talk about a little bit of the gear and stuff, so it might be a little distracting. So she can't wear boots inside of boots, so she has to take off the uniform boots in order to step into her bunker pants and boots. Alright? So Lily put on a hood. That hood goes over her head to help protect her neck, the top of her head, her ears from thermal burns. Zips up her coat. You can see she's got a lot of stuff hanging off of her already. She has a flashlight. She's got a radio. She puts her air pack on. That air pack weighs about 35 pounds on its own. She put a radio on first so that the air pack kind of holds her radio in place, so that if she had to crawl through a building, the radio strap doesn't sag and then collect stuff as she's going along or get caught on something. She puts on her mask, which is part of her self-contained breathing apparatus that is meant to allow her to go into what we call an IDLH, which is an immediate danger to life and health. So if there are any products of combustion, smoke, carbon monoxide, any of that stuff, she will eventually be able to breathe through her bottle and be able to perform tasks without it affecting her.
She's all set.
She's pretty close.
1, 2, 1.
Very good.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Lily, tell us why you chose to work for Port Orange Fire right now.
Well, when I was in school, there was a lot of instructors that were really great. They demonstrated a lot of hard work and all that kind of stuff.
We're gonna have her turn her bottle on. I wanted you to hear what it sounded like with her just talking through that mask. Now I'm gonna have her talk while she's breathing through the mask. Tell us again why you wanna work there.
There's a lot of great instructors out there, Ben Walker being included in them, and they were hiring right at the end of my class, and just ever since I got hired on here, they're just great.
So, the good thing is, and that's another good sound to hear. If Lily were to stay in a single position for 10 seconds, that alarm is going to go off, telling us that she has not moved, okay? And that's kind of like a first alarm. It starts getting way more obnoxious as she stays still. So when we're at fires and we're active and we're doing stuff, pulling ceiling, dragging hose, doing searches, it's automatically being told she's moving, she's fine. But if she stops, something were to fall on her, she'd have a heart attack, you can let it play out.
Okay,
Yeah, let it go.
sorry.
So
Have it.
that would tell us, that tells specifically Lieutenant Walker, who would be in there with her, wait a minute, why is Lily's device going off? I need to turn around and figure out what's wrong. So that would tell him to go back.
So the acronym that they give you is PASS. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. All right? And you're gonna empty the entire extinguisher onto the fire that you have. all right? And so that way I don't use their extinguisher and actually like pop it because it's tagged and this is good for them. They all have a pin, all right? So you can hold it from this top or from this bottom handle right here. You'll go ahead and grab it from wherever you have it. You'll pull this pin out, which will then allow you to depress this top handle down, all right? But before you do that, remember you're gonna pull, aim, squeeze, and then sweep, okay? Be very careful with what you have because there is gonna be some pressure coming out of this. So again, if you have a kitchen fire, like what you're saying, something on your stovetop, grease or anything like that, to know that don't get right up on it and then go and spray it. Kind of aim and then sweep and then be able to get closer to it if need be, if it stops reaching, okay?
Where's the pin on that? I don't see
The
that.
pin is this silver right here. And they might be a different color.
Okay, this is the one.
Yep, and then
Okay.
sometimes they're not always metal. They can be plastic, like the brand Kitty will have like a plastic one depending on like what cheaper or more expensive model that you buy. And then these aren't gonna be rechargeable for you guys. Once you use it, it'll just get thrown away and then just purchase a new one. And like Chief was saying is sometimes it's not the best place to keep it right in your kitchen because if it's too close to where the fire's at, maybe it's hard for you to be able to grab somewhere just outside of the kitchen. All right?
Is there a smaller size than that? I think I've seen something a little smaller.
Multiple sizes. I mean, they have them everything from like this to ours that we have on the truck is the exact same extinguisher, just significantly larger than this.